Alright, what's up guys, JR here. It is Thursday, I almost said June, Thursday, September the 14th, 2017, and I know I made a video yesterday. Typically I don't make more than one video in a week, but today I wanted to talk about patience and how important it is when it comes to trading. So basically I've been seated at my desk since 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Right now it's 12:36, so that's 3 hours and 6 minutes, and this is my first trade. This isn't the first trade of the day that has occurred, but this is the first trade that I have been able to take. And basically I just want to talk about how important patience is and how you really can't let missing trades get to you, and how you can't let the amount of time that you've been seated here get to you as well. So pretty much you have to get to a point where after you miss one trade, not really a big deal. You miss another trade, not really a big deal. Yeah, it doesn't feel that good, but at the end of the day, getting upset about it isn't going to help you. You have to realize that all that's going to do is hurt you. It's going to cause you to force a trade. It's going to cause you to make more mistakes mentally, and it's just not beneficial to your overall performance. So you have to get to a point where you can shake it off. I've been sitting here for 3 hours and literally haven't taken anything until this trade right here, right now. And to be honest, that doesn't bother me at all. Would I have liked to have taken this trade? Yeah. Honestly, I put a limit order back in here when I saw it tick out the bottom and then go out at the top. The reason why I took my limit order off is because at that time I had a trend line drawn off these first two swings, and we actually bounced off it again right there for the third touch. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be a trend day, so I said, okay, this is obviously a trap, but I don't think I want to risk getting long into a possible trend line. So I took that trade off, and sure enough, it worked out nicely. And then we had the basically a failed second entry short right here. Reason why I skipped that one is because I remember we had a setup similar to that yesterday. The only difference with this one is that we had overlap right here. So this actually strengthened the trade, and I wasn't paying attention to that at that point in time, and I figured I'd be safer waiting for the second entry, but it's right off the trend line. That was another good trade, and those are the two trades that I missed so far. Since I've been seated here, there's probably, I wouldn't recommend taking anything up in here because you get close to these overnight highs. I wouldn't recommend trying to go short either, and I wouldn't recommend trying to go long until right here, because as you can see, what we have is we have a trend line working down, we have a break, and then this is two legs down to a new low, and there's also some support right here, and this is a failed break. So I like going long right there. Would I prefer it if we had a higher low and if we were above the EMA? Yes, I would, but I like this setup enough that I feel like it's worth it. Small risk. Initially I had my stop, not my stop, I put a limit order right on the close of this bar, but I was afraid I was going to get left behind because we went up 2 ticks in profit, and yeah, so I slid it up to where the initial entry should have or would have been. But this is a small trade, not a small trade, but small risk. It's only 5 ticks, so I'm okay with that. And I feel like it has the potential to run on up to a new high, because this is in fact a pretty strong move up. This is clearly a verified trend. We held this trend line all the way up to a new high for the overnight highs. And yeah, even if it is going to be a range day, I still think we're going to get a retest of that. And I think we have what we need to in fact go higher. We have this short-term trend working down, and then this is really two legs right there. This is your first leg, the pullback, second leg, and then we have some support right across here. Let me go ahead and put a line on there so you guys can see that a bit better. So you can see that that is in fact a failed break beneath that area of support. So I like going long right here. This isn't the easiest setup to see, but I like it. And then there's the higher low right there. But you probably are better off waiting for the failed second entry or the higher low. But I like this enough to take this one right here, especially since I don't have anything yet today. And I like it. If you know what's going on and you can see those reasons that I listed above, then I think this is worth taking, especially for a retest for this move up. But yeah, I just want to talk about patience. And yeah, after I get this trade, I'll see if I can get another one. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. So it would have been nice if I'd gotten in initially where I wanted to get in. It would have only been a 4-tick risk, and my stop would have been before. It would have been right at the previous overnight highs. So I still think we'll be okay though. But I'm just gonna go to pause, and I'll be back once this trade starts moving. All right, and as you can see, we got a pretty nasty trap right there, and we popped right on up just like what I thought would happen. So yeah, we tapped off my first exit. I forgot to mention first contract is coming off at 1 point, so that's going to be 94.75. Then the second contract, I'm going to take it off. I think that's 2 ticks before these highs. That's going to be 95.75. But yeah, I'm just going to go back to pause. Alright, so we're tapping off my exit. It would have been nice to have gotten in on that limit order. I would have already been out right there, but it's all good. I actually really like this trade. This is a bit, I guess you could say, more advanced, because that's probably harder to see when you're newer at this, but this is a nice trade. Alright, so I just got my target filled. We didn't trade through it. I guess I was pretty early in the queue, but I think we'll pop through it in a second. You should be good even if you entered 1 tick above this, because that's a trap. That's a definite trap. You know, people start seeing this thing selling off, then they hop in short right there, they hop in short right there, and then they hop in short right there, and they forget about this whole move up. But yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to go to pause, and I'll be back when we start moving up a little higher. Alright, so we got a pretty nice pop right up top. I think that's 1 tick away from my second target of 2 points. Let me look and see. So if you entered 1 tick above that, that would have been 94.25. Yeah, you would have been out if you entered 1 tick above that bearish bar as well on the trap when we went out the bottom and then turned around and busted out of the top all in the same bar. So you would have been out if you had entered there. And yeah, but basically just try to be patient, guys. I know it's difficult when you're first starting off. You have expectations, and you don't really know exactly what you should and shouldn't be looking for, how you should or shouldn't be thinking. It's kind of difficult to really know the right way to do this. And as time progresses, you'll begin to learn from your mistakes, and you'll begin to see when you should and shouldn't be trading, what you should be looking for, what you should be thinking about or caring about, and what's irrelevant. And that just really happens over time. And oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I think I was talking about patience, but pretty much in the beginning, like when you first start off, patience, it's difficult, because I remember when I was first starting off, I would pretty much look for every second entry, every failed second entry, and just essentially looking for a trade everywhere. But what you really have to do is you really have to work on understanding context and how that works, and how that's going to factor into what you should and shouldn't be looking for, the second entries that you want to take and the second entries that you don't want to take. And for this particular trade, the context of it was that, yes, it's a range day, but this trend up was pretty strong. This trend line held to the T all the way up until we got a new high. So I'm expecting us to get a retest of that, even if it is going to be a range day regardless. So I was looking for a long. You don't want to go long right here on the second entry. Yes, it's right off the trend line, but this pullback is... This is really one leg. You have a trend working down, and it's fake. There's sometimes you're going to get some things that are fake, and hopefully this doesn't confuse anyone, but this is fake. You'll know what I mean. The more you do this, the more experience you get, you'll know what I mean when I say some things are fake. This is fake. Don't touch that. You come back, you bounce off this a few times, and then you push through it. This is really 2 measured legs down. You don't want to go long here either. That's not good enough. You have this trend line working down. Yes, it's a 2-leg correction, but that's not good enough. You get a break of this trend line, then you get 2 more legs down, and if you notice, you kind of start stacking up with some support right there. So once you get this 2-leg correction and that failed break beneath that support, this trend is played out. You have a failed break, and you still need a retest for this overall high. This is where you want to get long, if that makes sense. Sometimes these things are kind of hard to explain, like the more complex they get, and it's really just a way of thinking that you begin to develop, and it just comes with time and experience. But the main reason why I started this recording is because I wanted to talk about patience and how important it is. I sat here for 3 hours and literally didn't take anything. It didn't bother me, it didn't upset me, it didn't make me anxious, it didn't cause me to mess up in reading the price action. it's just, that's a skill that you get with time. And to be completely honest, when time I really don't even realize how much time is passing. I look at the clock and I'm like, oh wow, it's been that long. But yeah, do I wish I had taken these trades? Yeah, I wish I had taken that. I wish I had left my limit order in there, but I have reasons for not taking it. I had this trend line working down. I think I drew it something like this, and then that was like the third touch, and then the entry was getting close to that, so I figured, okay, it's not necessarily worth it, in my opinion, to possibly enter right there, have it come up, turn around, and then stop me out. So took that one off, and then this one, I wasn't really feeling it, but analyzing it after the fact, I like the fact that we stacked up, got really bullish, really bearish bars, broke beneath it, ticked off the EMA, that's pretty good rejection, and off the trend line. That's a good setup. I should have taken that. And this one right here, I'm a fan of that as well. But if you miss it, don't worry about it, man. Like, it's a part of the game. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it stress you out. Don't let it make you upset, because at the end of the day, what you have to realize is that's not going to help you. It's not going to make you trade any better. All it's going to do is cloud your mind and mess you up. So just be patient. If you miss something, don't worry about it. Just remember that this is about making money, and in order to make money, you have to be patient and you have to do it correctly. You don't need a bunch of trades to make money. Really, all you need is 1 or 2 trades a day. When you get to a certain point, that's pretty much all you're really going to want to take is 1 or 2 trades a day. I'm at the point now where all I want is 2 trades. I don't want anything more. Maybe 3 if the day's really nice, but other than that, I'm not looking to get 4 or 5 trades. I'm not looking to get 6 trades. I don't take that many trades. So it doesn't take much to make money in this, and it's about making money and holding on to that money and maintaining it. So you sit and you wait on the best setups, what you're comfortable with, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. Like, that's it. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it upset you, because at the end of the day, all that's going to do is hurt you. So just let it roll off your back, if that makes sense. I don't want to go on a rant. I don't want to go on a ramble. I wasn't even planning on making another video this week because I don't like uploading too much, and I don't want to make this too long. I just figured this was a good setup, and I figured it'd be a good time to show you guys that I literally haven't traded in 3 hours plus, and it doesn't faze me. And that's how you need to be. That's what you should strive for, is being completely unfazed by this. When you win, you don't get excited. When you lose, you don't get upset. When you miss a trade, you don't get upset. Yeah, you should try not to miss trades, but don't let it actually bother you to the point where it's going to affect your trading. Just learn from it, and don't let it slip by you again next time. This actually really reminded me of the setup from yesterday morning during the open, when we had that trap. We ticked lower and then turned up and continued going. This is what was in my mind when I saw this. It's just that trend line, the possibility of it. I didn't want to risk it, especially since it was a few minutes after 9 o'clock. I didn't want to start off the day with an L, knowing that I still had hours left. But yeah, just gonna go to pause. I don't know if I'm gonna get this runner with this thing right here. This is the second entry short. I still do think we're gonna get that new high. I just hope it doesn't mess around and come back and stop me out before it does that. But I'm just going to go to pause, and I'll be back. And then another piece of advice that I want to give is basically don't try to do too much when it comes to this stuff. And what I mean by that is don't constantly be trying to figure out what's going on. Don't draw a million different trend lines and keep erasing them and drawing new ones. Just draw 1 or 2 trend lines, try and figure out if we're trending or ranging, and then basically trade based off of what are you supposed to do on a trend day. Okay, well, you're supposed to look for second entries that are with trend and look for retests. So that's what you want to look for. If you're ranging, you want to look to get long off the lows and short off the highs, and you want to look to fade the breakouts. And that's pretty much how you should be trading. I don't know if that makes that much sense, or if that I might get stopped out here. Let me move this up. But pretty much, don't try to do too much with this. Don't try to get too fancy. Don't draw a bunch of different trend lines and think of every single possibility. Just try and keep it simple. Just focus on, okay, we come off one end of the trend line, we're most likely headed to the other end. We come off one end of the range, we're most likely headed to the other side. Oh, we had a break of our trend line, we probably need a retest for the high. So look for an opportunity to get that retest, but don't try to get too fancy with this stuff, if that makes sense. Really just try to keep it simple, and that's the best piece of advice I could give you. Just try and keep it simple. I remember I used to draw short-term trend lines all the time. Yes, those will help you, but just don't do too much. Don't do too much. And if you're having a difficult time finding the overall pattern, there may not be one. So just play your short-term trends and just go based off that and whatever the bias looks like it's doing, and try not to get trapped. But just trade for a purpose, bounces off the trend line, looking for retests, catching traps, and just follow the context, follow the standard rules. You come off one side, you're most likely going to the other. You get a break, you want to retest, and that's pretty much that'll help you. Just keep it simple, man. Just keep it simple. All right, so we just got stopped out right here. This is actually your second entry short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see if this fails. And depending on how it looks, I may even hop in this thing again to the upside, because I still think we're going to retest that. We might not. This might not fail, but if I get a nice opportunity, then I'm going to take it. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can go long here on a stop. Yeah, for that failed second entry short, because I still think we're going higher, and I think we have these shorts trapped. We just need to tick above this bar, and then I'll find out. But I still think we're going higher. So put a stop right here at 94.50. The high is going to be, well, the close of the high is going to be 96 flat, so I have more than enough room to get out. And yeah, we'll see if I can get a measured move of this right on up, and I think that puts us exactly at a new high. Let me look and see. That puts us to the high, basically to the tick. So yeah. Alright, so I'll see what happens with this one, but I like this. I think we have a nice short trap, so I'm going to go long on a stop above this. Alright, so that failure didn't trigger on this bar. I don't know how I feel about leaving this buy stop right there. I still do think we're going higher. It just makes it a little bit more suspect since we didn't break above it on this bar, and this bar closed really bearish. I still want this retest though, and this is a failed, well, when it does fail, it's a failed second entry. I'll really have to see. We're beneath the EMA right now, but I really have to see. But I'm just going to go back to pause. I don't know if I'm going to leave this on here or I'm going to take it off for now and just kind of see what we do. But yeah, I'm going to go to pause really quickly. Alright, so it's looking like we're probably going to get that failure right here. It's a pretty strong bullish bar. I'm going to see if we break above it. I may go ahead and drop a limit order in there for the to get long, because I still like this to the upside. Alright, let me put that limit order in here. I should have put it one tick better, but it's all good. Alright, so we're in here 94.25. We're going higher. I'm going to slide my stop. I could put it right here. I'm going to wait and see how this bar closes, and then I'm going to determine whether or not I'm going to keep my stop right here or if I'm going to slide it up to a tick or two beneath this, because this 7-tick stop is pretty big. But first contract 1.9525, second contract 2 points 96.25, and then that'll be the high of the day. But just gonna go to pause, and let me mark this trade. Just gonna go to pause, and I'll be back. Alright, so this is not a good bar at all. Yeah, I'm going to put my stop down there at 93 flat, so that's going to be 5 ticks worth of risk. So it's 2 ticks beneath my signal bar. That's not a good bar at all. Traded all the way up, closed 1 tick off of its open and beneath the EMA. I still think we're going higher though, but we'll have to see. Alright, so I just got stopped out right there. So that's a 5-tick loss. Safest place to have your stop is 1 or 2 ticks beneath this, but I'm not gonna risk a full 2 points on something that basically this isn't the best entry. We should have really triggered the failed second entry 1 tick above this bar after we break beneath this bearish bar if you really want a good trap. And then when you have a bar that closes like that, you better tighten your stop, because most likely you're gonna get stopped out. So I wasn't going to risk it down here. It's really the safest place. I may still have survived it if I had kept my stop down here. I still think we're going higher, but in my opinion, this entry isn't worth it. So I'm just going to look for another entry and see if I can make that back. Let me take this off. Alright, so we just got a pretty nice looking failed break beneath this. It's also a second entry long. Everything has kind of been creeping down, but once again, like I said, I still think we're going higher, so I'm going to go ahead and go long right here at 93.75. I'm pretty certain people got short right here and they're about to get trapped. So I like this bar. This bar is very bullish. We traded all the way down, got a new low for that little move, turned all the way back up and closed on its high. It's right back into the EMA, but it is a failed break combined with the second entry. I like it. So we'll see what happens, but back to pause. Alright, so we just got filled on this thing right here. Gonna go ahead and slide my stop up to 1 tick beneath that. So that's 6 ticks worth of risk, and this thing is popping off quite nicely from what I can see right now. And I still think we're gonna get that new high of the day. I know we trapped him right here, so this should be pretty nice. There's a lot of buying that's going on right now. It'd be nice if my first exit was right here. Makes it a bit safer, but as long as we get out before this high, we should still be good. And once we take out that high, I know we'll get a new high for the day. So first contract's coming off at 1 point, which is 94.75. Second contract is going to come off at 2 points, 95.75. I could probably move that a bit farther, but I'm just going to leave it where it is and try and be a bit more conservative since we are approaching the highs of the day. Let me go ahead and mark this trade. And one more thing I need to mention about this trade that I could have done better is I should have waited at least until this bar closed. And then after seeing the close of this bar, I would have known not to enter that. I knew I probably shouldn't enter when we didn't break above this bar, and then when this bar closed really bullish, everything was beneath the EMA. It was pretty clear that we most likely were going to go lower. It's just that this bar opened up pretty bullish. Did I say this bar closed really bullish? This bar closed really bearish. Then this bar opened up really bullish, traded up. We got the failure right there. I put that limit order in there. Should have waited until this closed when we had these two bars stacked up and everything was beneath the EMA. And it was looking pretty bearish at that point. So that's one way I could have avoided that. I played it smart by dragging my stop up here. You don't want to risk keeping your stop all the way down there because as you can see, I still would have gotten stopped out if I'd kept my stop down there. This wasn't the best entry. This is nice right here. This is the trap that I've been waiting for. So, and as you can see, we're popping now. But yeah, we're 1 tick away from that first contract, and yeah, so I will be back once something happens. Let me extend this line. Alright, so this bar closed much less than ideal. Started off really bullish, managed to trade all the way back down, closed beneath the EMA. Hopefully I didn't get trapped again. I'm hoping that I'm reading this thing correctly. It's pretty late in the day now, so it's not really the time to be making mistakes that you can't make up for. But like I said, I still think we're going higher, man. I still think we're going higher. I'm going to stick with my gut. You definitely don't want to be taking any shorts into this support. I still think we're going up. Technically, if we break beneath this, that'll be the failed second entry long, but I'm not taking that. That might be the nail in the coffin, though, if we do break beneath that, but I'm not going to reverse. So I'm just hoping that we see this continuation to the upside and test those highs. But yeah, back to pause. Alright, so we're 1 tick away from that exit again. I don't know if I mentioned, but we're in a mini trading range, so just hoping we can break through this little, basically this line is still the overnight highs, so I'm hoping we can break through that. I think we will. Like I said, I don't even know how many times since this recording has been going on for so long. That's another thing. When you make these long videos, you forget what you said and what you didn't say. So yeah, but I'm looking for this high. That's what I'm looking for, and yeah, we should pop through this in a second. So we trapped him right here, no doubt about it. I was hoping we'd trap him right there, but of course I got trapped by not removing my order when I knew I should have removed it. But hey, it happens. You live and learn. But you get this area of support stacked up, so you can't go short into that. Then we broke beneath it and snapped right back up, so I like that for a nice long. And this bar needs to close bullish. If this thing closes bearish, I have to exit. So yeah, we need to push through on this. At least close as a doji or push through, but if it closes bearish, then I have to exit, because if that's the case, then we'll probably flip and come on down and stop me out. So Alright, boom. So I just got my target on that. That was a pretty nice pop. Let me slide that right on up. And I think we're going to get these highs. But I'm just going to go to pause in the meantime so I don't make this lengthier than it already is, because I don't know how long it's been going for. I wasn't even planning on making a video today. I was talking about patience and not really letting long periods of time without a trade phase you or make you bored. Just find something else to do in the meantime, guys. What I do is I surf the internet, I watch Netflix, things like that. Just kind of chill, man. Like, have an idea of what it is that you want to see, wait for it to set up. If it doesn't set up, don't worry about it, just keep it moving. And don't be phased when you miss trades. Yeah, it's not good missing trades. You should try to not miss them. But if you do, just study it, realize what you did wrong. Don't let it happen again next time. But yeah, I'm just going to go to pause because this video is probably getting out of control with the length. So, alright, so it's looking like we might get stopped out right here on the break even. There's this resistance right up top there. And we pushed through it, but we didn't close above it. It's looking like we're getting a bit of rejection off of it right now, so I won't be surprised if I do get stopped. It's probably my last trade of the day. It's getting late now. It's 2:27. I gotta call it quits. The main reason why I even recorded this is to, I guess, get on the soapbox and just talk about patience, discipline, and I really don't even remember what all I said. I'll have to rewatch this thing, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's probably long as hell, but hey, you know, sometimes the long things are the good ones. But I'm gonna go back to pause. Hopefully I don't get stopped right here. But yeah. Alright, so I got stopped right there. That's life. But I'm gonna call it quits. I will see you guys sometime next week. So this is JR, and let me talk about, I think I did talk about these trades. I did. Let me talk about this one more time. We had this range day. We had this trend working up pretty strong. Everything held nicely. We get 2 measured moves down. Right there we bounce. You draw your trend line off these first couple swings. We have a break, and then this is 2 legs down to a new low. Nice bullish bar. Initially I had this little area of support. I had it right here. So I treated that like a failed break lower. I like this setup a lot. It's nice. It may be a tad bit aggressive due to the fact that we're beneath the EMA, and at that moment everything looks like it's going down. And I didn't wait on the higher low, but I like it. When the higher low does occur right here, it turns out to be a pretty gnarly trap. We busted out of the bottom and the top all in the same bar. We popped on up. It came 1 tick away from getting my second 2-point target. And I think I tried to enter on a limit order like right there, but instead I entered where I would have entered on a stop. But yeah, and the next trade was this failed second entry short right here. I should have taken that off when we didn't trigger and break above this bar, because really when you get a nice bearish bar like that, you want to see it tick beneath it, and then you want to see it turn back up above the EMA ideally, and that's when you really know you have them trapped. I decided to keep that order. No, I think I took the order off after this bar. Then we broke above it, and I put a limit order right there, I think, which was a poor decision on my part. Got stopped out right there. Then we had another trap right down here for the second entry long and the failed break lower. At that point, you probably want to drop your support line down to around about here. And you get that failed break. You know people shorted all throughout here, so you're going to trap them. And yeah, nice bullish bar. This bar was concerning, but it worked out. And we're in a trading range, so you're coming off the low. Most likely you're headed to the other end. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys sometime next week. This is JR. See you next time.